Welcome to the second session of Patanjali Meditation 102. Let's review slightly what we have done last time. Last time we covered the first four sutras. I didn't quite get into the first one. The first one is very preliminary, of course. Atha Yoga Anusasanam. What it means is now Patanjali says he is beginning to describe the philosophy of yoga, Atha Yoga Anushashanam. Another interpretation is he is saying that what follows is the practice of yoga, is the philosophy of yoga which has been coming from the past, and he has compiled it together at that point of time whenever he did it. Probably he must have felt the need that the public at that point of time needed this sort of a compilation, which was probably more common prior to his time, but he might have felt that it may become extinct. So he needs to put it in a form that it can exist for the posterity. Whatever is it, that first statement merely says that this is almost like the title of the book. The book is very small, as you will see probably. It's a total 195 statements. This is the original. I believe it is in 4 or 5 sheets of paper. So that's what is original Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and that's what we are looking at since last week. The second statement, which we saw last time, was really the definition of yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha, which I tried to say is using the example, the analogy of the thumb in the fist. This is me, my consciousness. This is what I am watching always, chitta, and whatever is happening on this, which is makes it different from its raw blank state. Whatever it is, that is making the chit different from its raw blank state. Just like I am projecting some slides on this wall, before any projector was switched on, the wall was raw blank. So that blank state is, we will say, is a blank state of chitta, and if anything is there, that is called its vritti. So vritti is its fluctuation or perturbations or different state from the raw state. It could be that I have intentionally brought it to that state, or it has just happened by itself. Like when I am in sleep, there are dreams on my chitta. That is not that I have brought them intentionally, but they somehow appear there. Even when I am awake, I may be reading a book, but for a moment, something else appears on my chitta. So this is all kinds of fluctuations happening. Whatever is that, that is called its vritti. And nirodha is to subdue it. So what Patanjali is saying, yoga is the knowledge and skill so that I can bring my chitta, that is the mind screen, which I am always watching, to an absolutely subdued state, so that it comes into its absolutely raw state. Number three was tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Having accomplished that, if the chit has been brought to its raw state, then what will happen? Then tada means then, drashtu means the observer, me, my consciousness is the observer, will be in its own true state. That is called Swarup. Avasthanam means not just flickering, I will be grounded in that state for a length of time or some moments. It's not that I just touch it and go away. I am there. That is, you can say, I get to know my true state. You can say that is the self realization. Then the fourth statement was with this, if it is not accomplished, vritti I have defined. It's difficult to translate into English, but we will say vritti is a, I don't know, it's so difficult to modifications to mind scheme. Modifications with respect to the raw state, whether I have done intentionally, unintentionally, whatever it is. So vritti sarupyam itayat, that is the fourth statement covered last time. So if I am not able to achieve the yoga was absence of any modifications. If I am not able to achieve that, then there is a modification on the screen, and then I identify myself with that modification as if what is happening on my chitta, as if that is happening to me, as if this is what I am at that point of time. So I think I used the example of watching a cinema. When you enter into the cinema hall, it is a blank screen, and suddenly something begins there. And then, as we are watching the cinema, many of us, for some moments, almost begin to participate in that thing as if we are also a part of that cinema event. So, somebody starts crying, and I also start crying. Somebody laughs, and we also laugh. So, as if we are part of the events which are being shown in the cinema. So, this is at a cinema like thing, but it is happening deep inside me. So, that is what is Vritti Sarupyam Itayat. That's where we were there last week. Now, let's begin the next statement, which is the number 6. The Patanjali Yoga Sutra are divided into 4 chapters. This is the first chapter called Samadhi Path. We will cover a part of this chapter as well as the second chapter, which is called Sadhana Path. That we'll cover in entirety. And that is towards the later part is talk about Ashtanga Yoga, which is what we need to complete in this particular course. And then there's a spillover. So first 6 or 7 statement in the third chapter, that is called Vibhuti Path. So our coverage will be about, I will say, about 28 statement of first chapter, about half of it, total are 51, and then entire second chapter, and then about first 7 or so statements, what is called Sutra. I will say Tadapi Bahyanam Nebijas, number 8, up to number 8 in third chapter. So this is what we will cover in Patanjali Meditation 102, which gives you a fairly good idea how to, what we have learned, how to practice, which we have already covered in your prior courses. But now you are gaining a kind of theoretical, philosophical basis of that. And there is one thing which is coming in the today's first statement, number 5, with Panchtaya, Klishta, Aklishta. This I will elaborate. I think I have a uh, I have a interpretation which I think is very useful. At least that helps me look at Patanjali Yoga in a proper manner, and I don't think that is available in any book. So, I will slightly point it out and hope that you are able to get to that. And today I will point it out slightly, but towards the very end of the course, I will elaborate it because then you will be in a better position to appreciate it. Let's move on to my slides. So this is the session number 2, and we are at the statement 1.6. First Roman is the chapter number and then the sutra number. So 1.6 is saying Vitaya Panchtaya Klishta Klishtaha. So now he's saying the vittis, which are modifications to the mind screen, are of 5 types. Vitaya Panchtaya. And then next 5-6 statements are elaborating. So in this particular slide, I have just put into English almost from 1.6 to 1.12. So today we are just looking at this slide for a length of time and discussing from 6 to 12, that means about 7 sutras, while last time we covered about 5 or so. So this is a particular section. What he's saying is, if there is a modification on mind, then he is categorizing them. And he's saying there are 5 types. So my particular, what I am proud of is, I have given a meaning to the third term, what is called klishta aklishta, which if you see most of the book, they are saying that these 5 modifications, which are 5 categories, which are described in the next statement, then they say that they could be further of 2 kinds, namely klisht and aklisht. Klisht is a word derived from the word klesh. And again, this is a funny story. If I go at length, it doesn't make sense at this stage of the course. But klesh, just like the word yoga in the very second statement, Patanjali has defined in a particular manner. Yoga chittavetti nirodha. That is the meaning of the term yoga. But yoga is a word which is used in Indian languages even now. Of course, again, there is a lot of confusion because if you say yoga to anywhere in the world, they have an idea yoga is a set of exercises. So people go to attend some yoga classes. But that yoga, whatever they do, is called Hatha Yoga. And actually, yoga is what Patanjali is teaching. So there is a confusion between yoga and Hatha Yoga. But of course, those who are attending this course, I assume they know it. They know that yoga is one, what is the teaching of Patanjali, and what is generally understood by yoga by common people throughout the world, that is called Hatha Yoga. They are practices related to the body and breathing and some sort of exercises which are said to be good for health. So, but that is yoga and Hatha Yoga. But at a very common Indian language, yoga is also a common word, nothing to do with yoga and Hatha Yoga, and that meaning is union. So in our languages, we will see if I add 2 and 3, so in English I will say the sum is 5. But in an Indian language, we will say Yog Phal is 5. So Yog Phal is when the 2 numbers 2 and 3 are brought together, then their union, their addition is 5. So the Yog has another word meaning. So these are words, but yoga has a common meaning as well as a philosophical meaning in Patanjali Yoga, which of course has degraded to Hatha Yoga. So there are long stories about all these terms, and that is what is true about another term called klesh. So klesh is a technical term, and it should be viewed. Patanjali is not defining in first chapter. He will define in the second chapter. He is defining in the second chapter, third statement, which we'll come to at that point, maybe about 4 or 5 sessions later. But I'm trying to impress upon you that there is a Klesh is a technical term which is in this particular book of Yoga by Patanjali, and he is defining it in third statement of chapter 2. And that statement goes as avidya asmita raga dvesh abhinivesha klesha. So he is listing five terms and he's saying they are klesh. So for the current practical purpose, we will say klesh is avidya, because then he will say avidya is the leading cause of all other five terms. And English translation for avidya, I can say, is ignorance, lack of knowledge or wrong knowledge, whatever it is. So the for the time being, clash is a technical term. Clash is a technical term, and it means ignorance. That's it. But very noteworthy is, which I have no idea why other scholars never noticed this. If he is saying, I am coming back to statement 1.5. Actually, 1.5 we have discussed last time, is it so? So in this slide, it is 1.6. Must have discussed. Sorry, whatever it is. If we discuss, we are discussing it again. So 1.5 is not mentioned in this slide. So I guess, let's see, is it easy for me to go to the, oh my God. Sorry, I am slightly sloppy. Just checking what were the slides. Yes, I'm checking my previous session. Yeah, I did discuss 1.5 last time, where I am saying modifications are of five kinds for a mind skin, whether with ignorance, cloiculation, or not. But I might not have discussed with this length. Let's say. So this is very important because what you are going to learn here is very different perspective of Patanjali Yoga, which is missing in the entire book of literature. So I must emphasize it. So what I'm saying is in 1.5, which is the modifications are of five types, and then he is using another list and arc list, which people have translated as, yeah, I was talking about clay as a technical term, which is ignorance, but this term is also in day-to-day use in India, and that day-to-day term means pain. Clash means pain from day-to-day use point of view, but we cannot translate like that when it is in Patanjali's book, particularly when he has defined that term in the next chapter. And he is defining Klesh as ignorance. So we have to keep that in mind. Klesh in this entire book will mean ignorance and not pain. Of course, if you are ignorant, you will do certain things which are likely to cause pain. But that is going to happen later. At this point, or you can say at most, Klesh is cause of pain. You cannot say Klesh is pain here, isn't it? So here, Klesh means ignorance. Now, Patanjali is saying in 1.5, Vittaya Panchtaya, with these are five types. Now, why did he add this one more klist as well as aklist? Klist and aklist means inherent with klesh and without klesh. Now, there are most of the authors will be translating it as modifications are of five types. Sometimes they give rise to pain, sometimes they don't give rise to pain. Of course, when modifications are on chitta, it's not always painful. There are moments in our life we are enjoying life. There are moments in life we are not enjoying life. We are inert or whatever it is, or too much in pain or suffering. And sometimes we are dormant, we are in sleep. Then we just don't able to see the chitta. So all these possibilities, which are he is himself going to list out in the next statement. But why did he use this list and uplist term? So this is what is my position, which I have yet to find a book which takes this position, but I am very proud of it. My position is, with these are of five types, they will happen on the chitta, whether the chitta is with klesh or without klesh. So what I am saying is the term klisht and aklisht is not related to the vrittis. As far as vrittis are concerned, there are five types. Vittaya, Panchtaya, he has mentioned. But this will be, the vrittis will appear on the chitta, though chitta are of two types, whether they are dominated by klesh or not dominated by klesh. So it is, a human mind is my chitta. If there is a lot of ignorance, I am a very ignorant person. From Patanjali's point of view, then my mind, my chitta is of clished type. And somebody who is much less or absence of it, he is no more ignorant. His chitta is of aclished type. Now, this is a very important style of Sanskrit sutras, which people have not noticed. Now, when he says Vittaya, Panchtaya, Klishta, Aklishta. Now, the word Aklishta is coming later. Now, what that means is the entire chapter 1 is for those human beings whose chit is void of klesh. This is what nobody has paid attention to, and that's why they have not a good whole picture of yoga. And I'll criticize it many, many times. Why did Patanjali write yoga? And then in second chapter we'll see Kriya Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. Why did he write three types of yoga in this book? So that is can be answered only with this interpretation. And that I have a evidence in the sense, if I say it is aklishta, then Patanjali need not define what klesh is, because he is talking about vrittis, the modifications for a human being whose chit is without klesh. So he does not feel the need to define klesh. He feels the need is there in the second chapter, and that's why he is defining. So first chapter is not relevant for human minds which are ignorant. So these are, first chapter is samadhi path. Second chapter, sadhan path, is for lower quality of people who are inflicted with klesh, with ignorance. That is why he is talking kriya yoga and ashtanga yoga. Anyway, this is, you are not likely to find any book. I don't know how many of you quite understood it, but as we will go through one day, I hope towards the end of the course, you will be able to understand it. Then this is the key why he is giving us Upadesh of Yoga, Kriya Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga. Otherwise, this is a riddle, nobody can get an answer. So that was 1.5. Vrittis are of five types, whether one is inflicted with ignorance or not inflicted. We are always going to have modifications. But from 1.6 onwards, he is saying that this, what I am teaching in the chapter 1, is for superior quality of people who do not have ignorance ab initio to begin with. So much so for 1.5. Let's go to 1.6. Now he is listing those five of them: Pramar, Vipaya, Vikalp, Nitya, Smitaya. So having said there are five types of modification, now in 1.6 he is just listing them. But I have put in my translation modifications to mind that is without inherent ignorance. So these are aklisht chitta. Now what are those five? He has listed those five terms, which is in the red color in the parenthesis. Pramar, Vipaya, Vikalp, Nidya, and Smriti. Now, what is Pramar? That is described in 1.7. Pratyaksh Anuman Agama Pramanani. I'm not going into philosophical details of these statements, but we'll quickly look at it. Pramad is the kayak knowledge which should be universally acceptable to all. Like I see from a distance, a human being, a man is walking. So I am saying this is coming on my chit, and I say, one man is walking towards me. There is another friend of mine standing there. He will also admit it. yes, one man is walking towards. So that person, that entity, one who is walking in this is a human being and is a male human being. So there is absolutely no doubt about that. This is called pramar. And of course, most of the time on our chitta, we have this kind of kayak knowledge. Like I see so many chairs, I see my friends here, I see books. All this is first type of knowledge, that is pramar, kayak knowledge. Now, how is it derived? Where does it get? Where do you get it from? So then he is saying the kayak knowledge comes from three sources. So three possibilities. One is pratyaksh. Pratyaksh is a direct perception. So of course I have five senses. If I am, if there is absolutely no ambiguity, there is no darkness, like in this particular case, when I see a Mr. X walking towards me, this is broad sunlight. The distance is also not much, just it is 5-7 meters. I can very well see this is a human being, a man walking toward me. This is called as a pratyaksha. There are three classifications of pramana. Pramana is the correct knowledge, but they are originating in three possible, on three tracks, you can say. And one is the direct perception, that yes, I see that man, I am seeing through my eyes. There is no darkness. My eyes are, I have, if I use glasses, I have my eyeglasses. Everything is fine. That is called pratyaksha. Anuman is inference, but that also may lead to 100% correct knowledge, but that is usually based on several occasions of direct perception. So, past, I have seen some event through direct perception, and then today I don't see it in entirety, but then I make an inference out of it. Here I'll give an example. I see it is raining through my window. I see that it is raining. This is pratyaksh. Water drops are falling from the sky. And in so many years of my life, I have seen a correlation. Whenever it is raining, there are clouds up in the sky. So there is a correlation. If there are clouds, if there is a rain, it has to be coming from the clouds in the sky. Now, today I am in my room, I am in my home, and I see that it is raining from my window. But I cannot see clouds up in the sky. But I make an inference that there are clouds up in the sky, though I cannot see them. I have to come out of my home to see these clouds. But without coming out of my home, I am so confident that I make a statement. This is also 100% correct knowledge, that yes, it is raining. This is direct perception. Now, this an attempt to infer that there are clouds up in the sky, that is not direct perception, but that is inference. But that is also correct knowledge. There is absolutely no doubt about that. So, through that is called Anuman Praman. Then there is another Praman called Agam. Agam is translated as testimony. Somebody else tells me, he is a reliable person. He tells me that when I walked towards your home, it was raining, and I am inside in my sitting room. I cannot even see it is raining. There are curtains on my window, nothing. And a visitor comes to me and he says, look, I just came in and it was raining outside. So, based on what he has said, I can say to my daughter on phone, yes, it is raining outside and there must be clouds up in the sky. Though I am not able to see the rain, I am not able to see the clouds, but because a friend of mine has told me, and I see no reason why he should be lying to me, so that is a testimony. But of course, usually in this kind of philosophical work, this means testimony of a authoritative source. So that takes us back to what is called Vedas. So that is the meaning of Agam. Agam is somebody says, like Patanjali is saying, I am saying this because this is in the Vedas, then this is treated as Agam Pramar. also called as Shabd Pramana. So this is a tradition in the Vedic philosophy. Yoga by Patanjali is one of the six books of Vedic philosophy, and that is what the tradition is. The Vedas are treated as revealed knowledge, not going into those aspects now. And if something is in accordance with the Vedas, that is called as Agam Praman. So that was about the first one, Praman, and its three possible sources, Pratyaksh, Anuman, and Agam. Now the something modification on my chitta, which I take it as, yes, this is what it is, but it is contrary to the truth. It is incorrect knowledge. For example, I saw a man walking. I concluded he is Mr. X, but then later on somebody corrected me. No, he is not Mr. X, he is Mr. Y. But before that correction was made, I was in the wrong track. That is called viparya, wrong knowledge, incorrect knowledge. So of course we are mistaken many many times. That also happens our chitta. So that is called viparya. So he is defining in statement 1.8, viparyayo mithya janam tad rupa pratistham. So what he's saying is something that doesn't exist. It is incorrect knowledge, but somehow I have got my chitta with that kind of modification. Somehow. It could be the darkness, it could be the distance was too much that I could not recognize that person, or it was darkness, or my eyeglasses were not there, some sort of a thing, or there was a curtain, or it was fog. All sorts of possibilities are there. Whatever is the cause, but it led to an incorrect conclusion, which is not telling with the reality. So something I get to know, but it is not corresponding to the reality. That is also happening, and we are all aware of it. It gets corrected sometimes, and sometimes for many years we are mistaken. So all those possibilities are there. So that is also viparya. All these are happening on our chitta. Then third is called vikalpa, is defined in 1.9. Shabda jnananupati vastu shunyo vikalpa. What this means is Shabd is the word. This word conveys a meaning, a jnana, a knowledge. So there is a set of word which conveys a knowledge. In a typical scenario, the word and the knowledge should tally very there should be a one-to-one correlation, but that is missing here. The word has a particular meaning. Word is about a thing, what is called vastu. So vastu shunyo. So what he's saying is there is a word which has a meaning. Literally, it means something, but literal meaning gives rise to a thing which actually doesn't exist. But still, it is in vogue in the society. We use it. But if we strictly examine that set of words, they are incorrect. But the tradition is we convey a particular meaning and it is in vogue. Nobody objects to it. So, there's something on Chitta which is not quite correct, but somehow there is a norm. Okay, it's acceptable. The example I give is the sun is rising. The sun is rising. If I am stationary on a particular portion of the earth, the sun is rising. This is accepted as a valid statement. Yes, the sun is rising. But the event is actually not that. Actually, the sun is not rising. Sun is wherever it was at the nucleus of the solar system. Actually, what is happening is the earth is rotating around its own axis, is spinning. And where I was standing, that portion is now, I can see the sunlight. Few minutes earlier, I was not able to see the sunlight. So The earth is rotating such that I am able to see the sun, and we call it as the sun is rising, which actually is not truth. Actually, the sun is not rising, but everybody accepts this. This is the norm that yes, the sun is rising is a set of words which conveys that meaning. So this is called vikalp. It is neither correct nor incorrect, but so we have said here is incorrect but acceptable. So, this could not be a Praman, this could not be a Vipaya. This was neither a correct knowledge, absolutely correct knowledge, nor absolutely incorrect knowledge. It is something in between. That is our vocabulary. That is how we use it. So, Shabda Jananupati, Vastu Shunyo Vikalpa. That was 1.9. Let's go two more or three more. 1.10 is Abhav Pratyaya Alambana Vete Nidya. This is very interesting. Nidya, what is called sleep, actually deep sleep here, is also a modification. Somebody will say, why should it be modification? But here, the chit is not, chit is an instrument. In its raw state, it does a job for me. I am the master, I am the user of the instrument. And actually, the default state is I am a conscious being, and my chit should get me all the knowledge from the surroundings through my five senses. That is the job of my chit. That is the instrument I am equipped with. That is what it should be doing. And when it is depicting all sorts of things from the surrounding, then I have modifications to chit. So we are discussing two possibilities now. Chit in its raw state and with modification. But when you are in deep sleep, sometimes we are in deep sleep, dreamless sleep, then there is absolutely nothing on my chitta. Now, what is that state? So, somebody could say that is the raw state of chit. Patanjali doesn't accept it. But for Patanjali, the raw state of chit is self realization. Tada dashtu swarupa avastha. So, Patanjali doesn't subscribe to that. So, Patanjali says that total blackout, which is in my dreamless sleep, is also a modification of chitta, but it is not modifications of what we have discussed, first type, second, third type. It is something very unusual that there is total blackout. I am there, chitta is also there, but chitta is not depicting anything to me. So he calls it as fourth modification. So it is a modified chit, which I have not done it. Some superior force switches off everything and there is total blackout. He calls it as nidya. Okay. So that is also a modification, one type out of those five types. Now it is fifth type. Fifth is called smriti, anubhut vishaya sampamosha. Anubhut, something was depicted already in the past on my chitta, which was in the real time, but I am now sitting alone. Somehow my mind goes elsewhere, my eyes are closed, and I'm thinking about somebody, my daughter, my wife, this, and their image comes on my mind. So that is past impressions, my memory. So, actually, in my mind, there is a powerful device, storage device. So anything which is captured in real time just doesn't disappear. It remains in my memory, my storage device. So when I am not real time connected to the world, then somehow the past images come. So that past image is brought back to the chitta, is called smriti. So these are five familiar modifications to our chitta, which we have discussed briefly. And there is 1.12. Actually, I should discuss next week, but since it is listed there, Now he going into yoga. What is yoga? So he has defined the structure of his book is, he said, when chit is without modification, I am in yoga. So this is what this diagram, if you can see. So this is me, the observer, the first blue word on the from the left side. This is my instrument called chitta. Yoga is to bring this in its raw state without any modification. Then I will follow this line. The green word is yoga. But if I am not able to achieve that, then I am on this track. Then what will happen? Five types of modification. That's what we have discussed from 1.6 to 1.11. Then in 1.12, he's saying that how to go crossover from here to here. Then he says we need to make, we have to have two-pronged approach. What are that? So in English, that I will discuss again next time. He's saying modifications are subdued. These are all subdued so that I can go in the direction of the arrow by two-pronged approach, namely Abhyas and Vairagya. So the statement 1.12 is Abhyas Vairagya Bhyam Tan Nirodha. Tat is the pronoun. Tat means that. That means what? Modification. Nirodha is to subdue it. Nirodha is to subdue it. So these modifications are subdued. That is Tan Nirodha. How are they subdued? Abhyas and Vairagya Bhyam. By twofold, two-pronged approach, is using two words, Abhyas and Vairagya. The tentative translation is Abhyas is practice and Vairagya is enunciation. That will help us traverse from right to left in the direction towards yoga. So this is where we will start next week. It is almost 8 o'clock now here. So we have about 30 minutes. What I plan to do is today I want to do exactly what we want to develop, that 20-minute module. And after that, I will request, we have 5 friends here, and I don't know how many friends are in distant mode because this slide is missing. I cannot see the number there, but I see a lot of my friends are there. So today, those who are present here, they will come on the screen, stay briefly, because we are all in one boat. So they will tell their name and a couple of lines about what they are, why are they here, and so on and so forth. So, and then next week I want to hear from who are in the distance mode. So they will use my phone number and come one after another. Or, I will write them an email, send my phone number, and also ask them if they have a Skype or something so that we can see you also. Because if you just phone, then we just hear your voice, but we don't see you. So let's do all that. Okay, we are now, what did I do? Something has gone wrong. Why are there two screens? Stop sharing. Okay, now there should be one screen. Yeah. Okay, we are ready. So, oh, I will sit here.
Oh, you sit there?
You come here. I hope we have enough of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You sit down there?
Yeah. I will facing this way. You can face towards me.
इधर जाओ मेरा ब्रो आपसे डर लगता
Not the very right kind. At home, I don't know if might have suggested a blanket is a good thing or a carpet is good thing. If something is too cozy, that is disturbing the thing. But this is what we are. Let's see this. Okay, we are trying to develop that 20-minute module. So we are simulating a situation as if I have a newcomer in front of me. So let me. So it's 20:01 here. So we make a. So our clock begins now. Let me describe the situation. So we are developing a module, 20-minute module. I am a teacher. There is a newcomer who has never done any meditation or something like that. He comes to me and he says, I want to benefit from meditation. So he has only 20 minutes in hand. So how are we going to teach him and make him do meditation and get a feel of it and maybe some benefit if his mind is calm and so on and so forth. So this is 2002, so 2022. Okay, exact 20 minutes. So now the clock begins. So I will say, please sit down with your cross-legged. Of course, my own posture is slightly complicated. So just to give him an idea, I will say, just fold your legs like this. This is very simple posture. Try to ensure your air pipe is straight, your back, your shoulder and neck in a straight line. Doesn't have to be stiff, feel relaxed. So that is so much so about your body posture. But if I am a teacher, because I am not quite comfortable, I will say, you maintain your posture, but please allow me a different posture because I like this posture. So this is my Siddhasana, but the posture I indicated to the newcomer was Sukhasana. And then I will say anything that is peripheral, your watch, your glasses, or anything, if you can get away from it, empty your pockets. Because in meditation, we want to be disconnect from the world, outer world, and let's feel very comfortable in our body domain. Now I will ask gentlemen, let's do some deep breathing. I want to focus on my abdomen area and throw out the air through my nostrils in a deep breathe out. So let's do that. A deep breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. This is our deep breathing, which is helpful to go in meditation. Finally, we are aiming in meditation to be blank mind, void of any thoughts. So as soon as our deep breathing is over, we want to focus our mind First, we want to instruct our mind that, look, I want your cooperation and want to be absolutely void of any thought. And that instruction is given with the sound Oh. So now remaining steps are very simple. We will devote a couple of minutes on deep breathing like this. Then we will recite this sound 3 times. And once this sound is over, we focus our mind on the forehead and just imagine we are walking deep into a sky where there is nothing happening. And if you feel that a thought is striking you or something is happening, you remind your mind again with that sound of instruction. So next few steps are very simple. 3 cycles of deep breathing. Once that is over, we will instruct our mind with that sound. Oh, 3 times reciting it. Once the sound is over, we focus our mind on the forehead as if we are walking step by step into a deep cave inside, disconnected from our mind. And if something begins to happen in our mind, we don't give up. We remind our mind again. That will be our meditation. More I am void of thought, deeper I am in meditation. Let's begin it. 3 more cycles of deep breathing. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. One more last cycle. Breathe out, breathe in. Let's instruct our mind with the sound 3 times. Om. 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 This was our 20-minute module. As I see, we have, I think let's use this next few minutes to get everybody's comment on this. Can you comment on if the instructions were adequate and were they enough for a newcomer to guide in the meditation, and if he or she did it, would it have been beneficial? I will ask this even those who are in the webinar mode. Please write your comment, and I am asking those who are present one by one also. Let me just because here and I cannot see the screen fully, so I am disconnecting this part, so that won't affect those who are in webinar mode, and those who are here, they will still be able to see it. Meanwhile, please be ready with your comments as I remove a couple of. Okay, now we can see. You cannot see there, but how should we do it? Here? You can come here. Because this part is somehow gets lost, this part. Okay, so we are all assembled here. So I request, we have about 5 people there. Can all of you, let's see, is there a way to, there was a enable chat. I thought we had enabled chat.
It should be on.
Hmm?
Yeah. 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 Group chat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here.
So please write your comment. We are waiting. Okay. So this has gone, and in the meantime, Kathy, can you give your comments? So here is Kathy. What was this 20-minute module?
I would have instructed the participants not to do as I'm doing for a minute, to listen to the instructions completely and then start, because it was confusing the disconnect, right? In other words, I'm going to give instructions. Do not pay attention to me and open your eyes and keep focused on the instructions, and then go into the meditation. So there was a definite, I knew they were paying attention to the instructions, not trying to participate. Because the first time we breathed, I breathed in with you, but I wasn't able to focus exactly on what you were saying. And as a new student, I need to know the parts first, then go into the meditation.
Yeah. All the components one by one first.
Right. Make sure they're
The
looking
body,
at you,
the breathing. Basically, we have, we do say it is 5 steps, but basically we have body, breathing, instruction, and then going in meditation.
It's human nature to want to participate instantly. So you need to have it. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute worth of instruction. Pay attention to me. Do not try and do what I'm doing. Just listen to the instructions.
First, all the instructions.
Right.
And then you want to, as you are giving them, you are describing them.
Yes.
Demonstrating
Pay
it.
attention to me. Let me describe them and
Okay.
focus on what I'm
This
doing.
is how you sit, this is how you breathe.
Right. And then give them an example like you did, but I already had my eyes closed, and they might too. Right.
My comment is that I took this PM101. I knew what I was doing. So
Yeah, that is,
everything was okay.
it's difficult to
For
simulate
those
the
that have
newcomer.
done it, but for someone that didn't.
No, I
take
understand.
it,
I understand. Yeah.
That he is trying to
But
that point with
first
respect to the
giving
newcomer.
the instructions, as Kathy said, without closing eyes, just tell the people what you're going to do. Then say, do this.
Very good. I think it's the same. That's it. Yeah. You have something, Sanjay?
Yeah. I think when we gave the instructions today, we said deep breathing